The gym echoed with the sound of squeaking sneakers, whistles, and the roar of the crowd. But for Marcus, the noise always felt distant, like he was watching life from behind a glass wall. He sat at the far end of the bench, his jersey crisp and clean, untouched by the sweat and dirt of the game. Every now and then, he would adjust his shoelaces or bounce the ball on his knees, pretending he was ready to jump in, but deep down, he knew the call would never come. "Bench boy," one of his teammates sneered as he walked past, smirking at the sight of Marcus's empty water bottle. Another added with a laugh, "Why bother wearing the uniform? You're just here for decoration." The words stung, but Marcus swallowed them. Arguing never changed anything. It wasn't that he didn't love the game. Basketball was his escape, his passion, his dream. But no matter how hard he practiced, the coach overlooked him. To the world, Marcus was invisible, just another boy wasting space on the bench. Yet, when the crowd cheered for the star players, Marcus clapped louder than anyone else. He studied every play, memorized every movement, and promised himself that if the chance ever came, he would be ready. No one believed in him, not the coach, not his teammates, not even the fans. But deep inside, Marcus carried a quiet fire. Because he knew something they didn't. Sometimes the greatest heroes aren't the ones who shine from the start, but the ones who wait in the shadows, preparing for the day the spotlight finally finds. The gym doors slammed shut behind Marcus as practice ended. His teammates laughed in the locker room, trading jokes about Friday's big game. None of those jokes included him. As usual, Marcus walked out with his backpack slung low, head down, pretending he didn't hear the whispers. But inside, he was boiling. "Why do I even try?" he muttered under his breath. Hours of late-night shooting, endless drills in his driveway, bruises on his hands from dribbling until his palms were raw, all of it seemed invisible. No matter how much effort he poured in, the coach kept him glued to the bench. The bullying only added fuel to the fire. A star player had shoved him earlier that day, laughing as Marcus nearly tripped. "Careful, bench warmer. Don't hurt yourself before you sit down again." The entire team laughed. Marcus forced a smile, but later, alone, the sting turned into something sharper. He could quit. Walk away, save himself from the embarrassment. No one would miss him if he left. But as he sat on the cold bleachers staring at the empty court, Marcus realized something. Quitting would prove them right. And proving them right was worse than all the mockery in the world. That night, while his teammates were at parties or glued to their phones, Marcus was under the flickering streetlight near his house, practicing until sweat dripped into his eyes. Every shot, every dribble, every sprint carried a silent promise. He wasn't just playing for a chance anymore. He was preparing for the moment no one else saw coming. Friday night lights poured over the packed gym. The bleachers shook with chants and cheers as the hometown team prepared for the toughest game of the season. Marcus, as always, sat at the far end of the bench, tugging at the hem of his jersey, trying not to feel invisible. The first half was brutal. The starting five, usually untouchable, struggled against the rival team's aggressive defense. By halftime, the scoreboard glared with a humiliating gap. Fans murmured, coaches barked, and players argued. The team's star guard limped off, clutching his ankle, unable to continue. Panic swept across the bench. The coach scanned his players, eyes narrowing. Then, almost reluctantly, they landed on Marcus. "Dawson, you're in," the coach barked. The gym fell silent for a heartbeat. Teammates exchanged smirks, some even rolling their eyes. "This is gonna be ugly," one muttered. Marcus's chest tightened, but his legs carried him to the court. His palms were sweaty, his breath shaky. The ball was passed to him almost dismissively, as if to prove he couldn't handle it. But then it happened. Muscle memory from endless nights of practice kicked in. Marcus dribbled smoothly past his defender, rose for a jumper, and the ball swished clean through the net. The crowd gasped. The next possession, he stole the ball, sprinted down the court, and scored again. The gym erupted, fans on their feet. Teammates who once mocked him now stared in disbelief. For the first time, Marcus wasn't the invisible benchwarmer. He was the player the team desperately needed. The scoreboard blinked with tension. The team was still trailing, but Marcus's sudden burst of energy had sparked something in the crowd, and even more, within his teammates. For the first time all season, eyes weren't filled with doubt when they looked at him. The opposing team, rattled by Marcus's unexpected confidence, tightened their defense. Their captain sneered, "Bench boy got lucky." But Marcus wasn't shaken. Every drop of frustration from years of being mocked poured into his focus. The ball was in his hands again. A defender lunged, but Marcus spun away, passing sharply to a teammate who scored with ease. Gasps turned into cheers. The bench players who used to laugh at him were now jumping, shouting his name. Play after play, Marcus proved he wasn't just a substitute, he was a game changer. He dove for loose balls, dished out assists, and sank shots under pressure. Sweat dripped down his brow, but he never slowed. Each basket shrank the gap, each defensive stop brought hope. By the final minutes, the crowd was electric. The gym thundered with chants of Marcos. Marcos. His parents, sitting quietly at the back, stood tall with pride, tears in their eyes. With just seconds left, the team was down by 1. The coach, once dismissive, called a timeout. The play wasn't drawn for the usual stars, it was drawn for Marcus. As the whistle blew and the ball was inbounded, the weight of the game sat on his shoulders. But this time, Marcus didn't feel small. He felt ready. The gym was a storm of noise, but Marcus heard only the bounce of the ball as it landed in his hands. 10 seconds remained. His teammates spread out, giving him space, trusting him. For the first time, he wasn't just part of the team, he was the team's hope. The defender pressed hard, sneering, "You'll choke." But Marcus's eyes stayed locked on the rim. He dribbled left, crossed right, his sneakers screeching against the polished floor. The crowd roared, the clock ticked down. 5 seconds. He stepped back just beyond the line. 3 seconds. His arms rose, releasing the ball in a perfect arc time slowed. The gym fell silent as the ball spun through the air, glowing under the bright lights. Swish! The buzzer blared as the net snapped. The stands erupted in thunderous cheers, students spilling onto the court. Marcus was lifted onto shoulders, no longer invisible, no longer mocked. His teammates hugged him, the coach clapped his back, pride shining in his eyes. Marcus scanned the crowd. His parents stood tall, tears streaming as they shouted his name. Even the bullies who once jeered now looked at him with awe and respect. That night, the boy who had been benched and bullied became the hero no one expected. His name echoed not just in the gym, but in every heart that had doubted him. Marcus smiled through the chaos, knowing this victory wasn't just about the game. It was about proving that no matter how many times life pushes you aside, when your moment comes, you rise and you shine. If you loved Marcus's journey from the bench to becoming a hero, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel Echo Resistance, and leave a beautiful comment sharing your favorite moment. Let's keep inspiring together.